want to make the choose. Hi guys, welcome back to the Philippines. I just zoned out on you guys, which means I might be. Yeah, I'm excited. Anyways, wanna say good morning. It's a beautiful Sabbath morning here in the Philippines. This week was just intense, and when I say intense, I mean intense. I'm looking at the report here, and a lot transpired this week. So I'm excited to share with you all that happened this week. Some of the headlines, we have success stories. We had meeting with mayors and different individuals from each area. We had weather challenges. We had critical patient challenges. And yes, this week, one patient actually died by the time I was engaged to go and transport that person. Again, if you like these videos, you know what to do. Give a thumbs up, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel. Let me know where you're watching from. You know, you guys are timid with your comments, so I'm gonna give you an idea. All you gotta do is just say, hey, I'm watching from Europe, I'm watching from San Diego, I'm watching from Texas. You know, just send me a comment of where you're watching from. And if the videos are really being a blessing to you, shoot me a little message. And I always say, don't be selfish with these videos. If they are lifting your spirit with this COVID lockdown, we encourage you to share them with your family and your friends so that they can see, in spite of how dark the world is right now, there's still a silver lining behind the dark cloud. All right. So without further ado, let's get straight into our report. The week started out for me with weather challenge. I had a patient to be picked up. Basically, I'm going. This is my longest leg. It's a 2-hour flight, and so by the time I do it, usually I get back. I've flown almost 5 hours. I went to this small island 3 times this week. Yep, 3 times this week. I went to this small island. So I took a screenshot here because as I was flying along, I saw some buildups in front of me. When I checked the weather, it was mainly blue, so I know directly along my path I should look out for weather. Usually, the satellite will pick something up, and when you get out there, it's like above you usually. But this time, it was right at my cruising altitude, so I had to divert around it. I had to go around it, maybe around 10 to 15 nautical miles. I had to divert west of this. Right here is Kalayan Island, and I have some good news. This island has put in a request for our ministry to come and do Medivacs there. It's virgin territory. I'm excited. We're coordinating with the doctors, we're working with the government, and hopefully, sometime in September, before this month ends, we're going to be doing an inaugural flight into this island. So it's a nice runway there. I think 2 years ago they opened it up finally and an airplane landed there. So we're going to be, it's virgin territory for us. There's an Adventist church there. We have a contact that we're working on. So just keep that in prayers. When I diverted, I landed and I called up my director and I said, just double check that weather for me. And so we had the alternate plan coming back was to go east instead of west because the system was moving westward. So it was nice that I got through, found holes and gaps through this weather, and I was able to get the mission successful. Along that flight was this senior lady trying to get back home. Basically, she was sound asleep the whole flight. Every now and then she would like wake up, look out a little bit, and then she went back to sleep. So this is a little place called Batanes. It's a very hot tourist spot filled with a lot of rich people. I was told that they have hotels there that I could only dream about staying in one of those hotels. Very expensive. And a lot of my friends, like back in the States, are saying, oh, I want to go to Batanes to see the rice field on the hill or mountain, whatever. But I'm always telling them the furthest I can go when I land here, because they're COVID free, the furthest I can go when I land here is the bathroom. I cannot even go to the departure area to see the patients or the passengers. I have to, the furthest I can go is on the ramp, not even at the gate. Okay. So, anyways, I got that mission successful. Then I picked up two patients. So I had two patients, two watchers, and I was heavy coming out, but nonetheless, I got the mission done. I was within my maximum gross weight, but I was a little heavy, so I had to really watch my temperature on the climb. And I got them out. They're gonna be going into the hospital so that they can get further checkup and possible surgery situation. The one in the middle here with the stripe black, I could see a little pain on her face, so I figured she was in a lot of discomfort. Just want to zoom in here a little bit, not on the slippers of the patients, but right here is some specimen. So every time I bring some locally stranded individuals to this island, they have to go through swab tests, and people in the hospital is submitting different specimen for evaluation, etc. So it seems like they don't have a lot of lab options, like to do lab work, etc. So every time I fly, my contact there, Nurse Shona. Hi, Nurse Shona. I know you follow my videos and I know you follow my vlogs and so on. She would always contact me, Cap, when are you coming to Batanes? We would like to send you some specimen. So our airplane is not just for patients and locally stranded individuals. We also help the hospitals to get their specimen to Tugigara, which is an hour and a half flight south, to be able to be evaluated, so people who are doing their blood work, doing their checks, can get results in a timely manner. And we always try to maximize, not only that, we get letters and documents. Sometimes it's contract, sometimes it's for the airport, it's for the city itself. We help to make communication between these islands possible whenever we have a flight. So our ministry is very much maximize. I get tips, so I help them, and there's no charge. When the hospital gives me specimen, we're not charging them anything financially. We have space, we accommodate it. So, here in the Philippines, the culture is, you do something for me, then they feel like they need to do something for you. So a lot of them, they have been following my posts, like Sir John, and so they follow my posts. They realize I'm vegan, so they realize I really enjoy fruits, and they took it upon themselves to give me fruits. And so I got some eggplants, pears, apples, and this papaya was very good. I mean, it's one of the best papayas I've ever had. It's sweet, it's juicy, and I feasted on that thing. So here's a photo, and I hope you're not hungry while looking at this because you will salivate. So thank you guys from Batanes. It's always a blessing to get fruits from you guys, and I really enjoy them. That happened on Sunday. So Monday, I got a call. Basically, the call came in, I think, late Sunday evening, and I was not able, weather did not permit me to go and do the flight. And basically, what happened was an individual was intoxicated with alcohol, went on his motorcycle, speeding down the road, no helmet, lost control, crashed. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys. We got the request, time did not permit us, so we just prayerfully hope that he survived the night. He did. So first thing in the morning, I got the airplane ready the night before, and as soon as the sun came up, I dashed over there and I picked him up. When I picked him up, he had to lie down in the airplane. He was very much somewhat still disoriented from the head injury. We had some challenges during the flight where, I realize whenever these patients have these head injury, it makes them a little restless during the flight. So they try to move around, and I always have to ask the doctors or whoever, did you give him some not tranquilizer, but is he under some sedative or gonna make him relax, etc. Fortunately for them, it's not a long flight, so within 20-25 minutes, I usually drop them off. So praise the Lord that these people are in close proximity for flight. But if they were to take public commute, it would take like some places I've told 8 hours, 12 hours, 16 hours, etc. So, anyways, I transported him, and he was so disoriented that he actually removed the bandage from his head. And you could see his head got multiple bruises and hits and bumps. One of his eyes actually completely gone. Um, it's like when he hit the ground, his face dragged, so the skin was peeling and then it stopped. You ever peel an orange or an apple and you like slice into it and then stop, and the potatoes is actually a better example. You're peeling the potato and you see the skin peel and then it curves and stop. That's what happened under his eye. The skin peeled and then stopped, and I was like, oh Lord. I saw that, tune it out, went back to, okay, I need to just fly this airplane. So this is my fourth patient now, critical patient, which is as a result of alcohol intoxication, meeting in an accident with severe head injury, being disoriented. And I just want to take this opportunity to remind everyone, to encourage everyone, alcohol is not the perfect it doesn't work. It's like, I know we're in a pandemic situation. I know people are stressed. And long before the pandemic, people had drinking problems. We just want to encourage you, if you have a drinking problem, find another alternative, because the repercussions is very intense. Fortunately, he didn't die from the accident, but he was severely injured. And I think I've said enough about that. The next day, we went out and we had a meeting that was scheduled. Due to this pandemic, our ministry has really come to the forefront. We have become the critical dividing line between life and death, between supplies and no supplies, between communication and no communication, etc. So things have become very chaotic at times, trying to organize these flights and schedule these flights. So, I voiced my concern to our director, and he set aside some time to go into these areas, bring our representative, bring someone that can translate, etc. Invite all our contacts to come together in the same room. The first place for me was really nice. Imagine you walk into a room and you see the thing where the judge sits at the head, and me to this though, we were sitting in like a parliamental area of this place. It's the municipality office, where you had all the honorable guys, all the government officials welcoming us into their meeting. We sat down, we met, we explained what we do, they asked questions, and we're hoping that we were able to create a new system where we have designated contacts that will pass on information to us so that we can coordinate these flights effectively. One area, due to their COVID restrictions and so on, we could not go in there personally. So they sent individuals, representatives to the airport so that we could sit and meet and talk. And it was such a blessing that individuals are willing to work with us. These people are not Adventists, they are pretty much government officials that is helping us to help their people. You have the nurses, the doctors, the mayors, etc., that came out in their numbers to listen to us. We just took this picture right here at the Villacan Municipal Health Center, and they treated us to a nice meal as well. They were very hospitable. They treated us to a meal, and we talked, we dialogued, and we're hoping now that come next week and the next week and so on in the future, we will have an established system that is effective in helping these people and to minimize the challenges and stress of coordinating flights. We ended the meeting, and then next day I went out. I had another Medivac opportunity, and before I on my way to pick up the patient, I picked up this returning patient. I don't know if you remember him, but he's from previous episode. I think he broke his leg. Yeah, he broke his leg. And so obviously he has recovered. I picked him up and I gave him a nice treat. I disengaged the autopilot and I said, "Hey, put your hand on the controls and just feel that airplane, make a little turn, like just lift it a little bit, so I was like just coaching him how to hold the controls and feel the airplane itself. And you should have just seen the look on this kid's face. His mom is in the back seat, and these people, they go through life, they're poor, they're underprivileged, and so I just wanted to give him the best I could give. I don't have money to lift him from his poverty or a lot of food to lift him or whatever, but I wanted to give him an experience that somehow he'll never forget. I have experienced what it's like for someone to have me tag along on a flight, which was 6 years ago today, tagging along on a flight, and then I was told, "Hey, go ahead and fly the thing. Put your hand on the control, feel that airplane, make a little turn, etc." So I treated him to that, and I know he will never forget that experience for as long as he lives. So I dropped him off, him and his mom here. They had their little food and so on that I think was donated to them. And that's Pastor Mel in the background. After that experience, we had we picked up some more patients here, took them out so that they can go in for different checkup at the hospital, etc. So we're hoping that they can get to the hospital and get the help that they need. I'm going back to this small island again, all the way up to this beautiful little island called Batanes. You have to have money if you want to go to Batanes as a tourist. But when you're a missionary pilot like myself, you get to go in there. So this is a health worker with the DOH, and to the left is Jade Manias. Jade was the scripture reading. She did the scripture reading at my wedding 7 years ago. She's the schoolmate of my wife, and she actually followed my wife on Instagram. Found out that when I was getting married, I was not a pilot. I was just a medical missionary. So she followed my wife on Instagram, and my wife posted how she's flying along with hubby. So she realized, wait a minute, we know about the Palmas ministry doing flights. You mean to tell me that Davin is one of those pilots now? So we're like, yeah. So we reconnected. We helped her to get out of Manila. I transported her to another airport. They were going to put her there. Then it turns out they will finally assign her back to Batanes. So I had the humble privilege of transporting her and her companion to Batanes, where Dr. Jade Manias will be working there in that area. So it's always a blessing to help transport doctors into Batanes. Not just any doctor, but friends. It's like ministry binds us, and we always say, man, it's such a small world. You never know how people are going to reconnect in the future. On my way out, after dropping them off, I picked up these two individuals and I transported them back to Batanes. I mean, back to Tugigarao. When I finish that mission, you know me, I like to do my rounds. So I'll come from Batanes southbound and I will go to the coastal area and just pick up the small amount of jobs there or missions there. And oftentimes when I do that, I ended up flying for at least 6 hours, 30 minutes, etc. That particular day, I flew 7 hours solid. 7 hours. There was around 10 takeoff, 10 landings, 7 hours. This lady and her husband, basically it's a complicated pregnancy situation where she's having challenges with the baby. She popped up on my list and I had to make a double trip to accommodate them. And so we're really praying and hoping that the baby will survive, but she was really critical, very unstable with the pregnancy. But praise the Lord, a ray of hope showed up with the airplane. We got her out. I haven't gotten any updates as yet, but I can assure you, chances are when they recover, the request will come in. Cap, the baby was born. Here's the baby. And we bring them back home, and that's always the biggest joy on my face. You see them when they're sick, you see them when they're complicated, and then later on you see that baby and you look at that cute little baby and you're like, wow, can't believe it. I should backtrack here. um because I just remembered. Sometimes I do all these missions, guys, and I forget. This photo is actually a photo of two pregnant women that I transported the same time. Yes, it was two pregnant women. Thank you, Lord, for reminding me. It was two pregnant women that I transported on the same flight. Usually, pregnant women, they're heavy, but these ones, they were a little smaller, so I was able to bring them and their watchers together on the same flight. So that was a 2-for-1 deal. And I remember they constantly kept asking me, what's my name? You know? I'm like, wait, why are you asking me my name? So I don't know if it's a boy, maybe they'll name it. And so we were chit-chatting and joking about that. And one of them said, Cap, I hope that this baby is a boy because I already have a girl. You know, so she's trying to get that boy. And one of them, I'm not gonna point which one, but one already has the baby. It's a girl. So this is she's hoping the second one is a boy. And for the other pregnant lady, it's her first baby. And you know, you go through these things, and when we had that meeting in this area, these two pregnant women actually came from those areas where we had the meeting. And so as we were meeting, I asked them questions such as, okay, if I'm sick and I'm poor and suffering, what are my options? I asked the mayor, is there a system in place to help these people financially? She said, Cap, yes. We have money from the government that is there to assist these people so that they can cover, to help with fuel, to help with whatever, so that you can help them. I said, wow, that's nice. Not only that, I'm like, I've been very busy, as you can see, for those who follow me every day. I'm always flying every day, flight. And you might be wondering, why am I flying that much? This week, it was explained to me. One area does not have a hospital. There's no hospital there. So when people are sick, you just have like sometimes a little clinic or a DOH, Department of Health representative, to quickly analyze the person. And then next thing, they don't have the equipment. They don't have a health facility. So the natural thing is, what can we do? There's no boats going, there's no bus going. So they know, call the Adventist Aviation Services. They will come and they will help you. And don't worry, it's not going to cost you $1 million or $1 million. $30. That's all it's going to take. $30 of fuel. That's all it's going to take to help one of these ladies to give birth to their first baby, to give birth to their second baby. And so when they explain to me what the people have to go through to even get to that airport or get financial help, I said, Lord, I am so humbled to be the connecting link between your provision and these people being the recipient of these missions. You know, it brought tears to my eyes this week to know that many of them are so underprivileged in these areas that they don't have hospitals, they don't have clinics. We survived that experience, and then these three individuals, this three family, they were very energetic on the flight. You know, they're looking up, they're pointing, and I asked my contact, Pastor Milky, is this their first time to be on an airplane? He said, Cap, yes. So we sat down yesterday, we were talking together, and I found out that this family, they were victims of a massacre that happened over land. So they have this land in their area, and family begin to fight with them. Some, I think, lost their lives over it. And every now and then I hear that kind of report where people die over fight for land. So they were scheduled for a court session because they got injury. I think he was telling me that the dad somehow was poked. One of them even got gunshot wound to the face, and people, government officials came to the rescue, helped to find the finances to do the surgery, etc. So they had that court session, and they needed to go out, and it was a long day for me. I started flying 5:30 in the morning. I went all the way up to my longest trip, Batanes, which was like a 4 hour trip round, a 4 hour flight round trip. So I told Pastor Milky the night before, I said, Pastor, I see the deadline for them to be in that area for their court session. Let's pray that the weather will hold, because usually after 12 o'clock it's chaos. Thunderstorm build real quick. The weather is just not cooperating after lunchtime. So I know that I have to be very prompt with my departure time, getting people ready, get out, go, 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 go. So the weather held its course. It did not overcome us. We were able to get nice, beautiful VFR conditions. And so I picked them up and I dropped them off. We don't know what happened in court when they went. I think yesterday was their court session. And so we're just hoping that justice will be served. And it was such a blessing. I was told that I think they are Seventh-day Adventists. If I heard correctly, they're Seventh-day Adventist Christians. So it was a blessing to be a blessing to this family in helping them to get out. When I did that flight, I had another request again, another patient and a doctor needing to leave Batanes. This will be my third trip this week to Batanes. And going up there, I picked up two stranded students. They are right here to the right. These are two stranded students. And I think they are relatives or friends of an Adventist lady that I helped before. So she sent me a message through Messenger and told me, Cap, there's a list of requests you receive. Can you accommodate my two friends? And she gave me the names. I coordinated and I took them home. This nurse is from the Department of Health, assigned there in Batanes. It's her first time to be assigned, so she had a little extra stuff for her comfort and her work. She was supposed to be a part of the first trip that I made with Dr. Manias, but due to the amount of stuff they had from the Department of Health, their personal items, I could not accommodate her, and she also needed to wait on some results as well. So I couldn't accommodate her that day. So the next day, I was able to accommodate her. I think, yes, I did a back to back. I went up there Wednesday and I went Thursday again. This gentleman, I really empathize with him a lot. The look on his face was priceless. He's stranded now for a couple months. He tried multiple times to tag along with me, but due to space, I could not accommodate him. And then when I could, he didn't get his travel permits on time. But finally, I was able to get him home. And I saw him in the waiting area when I dropped him off. And I told the other passengers here, I said, this man is the most grateful out of the four of you. I said, he's been trying multiple times to tag along with me. And finally, I was able to get him home. On my way out, I transported another government worker. In the middle is Dr. Allen. He's a surgeon that was on a small contract there in Batanes. He did some cranial surgeries and so on, and it was time for him to go out. And then to his right is the patient that is scheduled for a surgery into Gigarao. So I have a government official, a physician, a surgeon, and a patient all in one. So, people ask me, it's the same route that you're flying every day, Batanes to Gigarao, Palanan, Makunakon, Kawayan. Do you ever get tired of flying the same route? No, I don't, because every mission is unique. No two missions is ever the same. For me, it's not about the route. It's not about landing at the same airport over and over. It's all about the mission. Who am I transporting today? Who is with me on board? Who am I going to pick up? What's their story? What's happening? That's what drives me to keep going. And so I was able to successfully transport them. Yesterday, I took the day off. But I still went flying. Our director here, Cap Dwayne, our president for PAMAS, I asked him, I said, we are scheduled for another meeting. So in this meeting, we have the mayor here. We have mayor of Palanan. We have Mam Weng, the AGTA president. We have a doctor here. She has a very good story. I'm going to tell you a little about that. Or we have Pastor Milky here, or contact there. I'm there. And we have this doctor right here. Okay, so we have a lot of people in this room, and that's yours, Sir Rodrigo Duterte. So you know where we are. We are in the mayor's office having this meeting, trying to coordinate this system again. We want to establish a nicer system that will make communication among us very transparent, very to the point, and we get the mission done in a less time consuming manner. So quicker and faster and more efficient. So we sat in the meeting for a couple hours and we dialogued together, and we had a very good meeting. It was warm, it was welcoming. We shared our thoughts, we asked our questions, we exchanged contact, etc. And so as I'm going through the meeting, Doc here said to me, Cap, I am one of your followers on Instagram. I'm like, what? Such a small world. You know, I'm a millennial, man. I have my millennial moments. I go to places, I meet people for the first time, or sometimes it happened even in Manila. I pass someone in the CAAP office, Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines. I'm doing my requirements for flying with my license, and one individual just walk up to me and say, "Hey, Cap, I know you." Okay, he's like, I'm a subscriber of your YouTube channel. I see your videos and I watch them. I'm inspired. I'm like, wow, such a small world. So whenever, I have these social media accounts, constantly getting my stories out there, sharing my adventures, my journey, my stories, etc. And then you meet someone in a room and they say, I am one of your followers, or I am one of your subscribers. It just motivates me to keep posting and keep sharing, etc. So we had a very good meeting with these individuals. I've heard their stories, they've heard ours, and we look forward to see what will be the results of having this meeting. So now I have a better understanding of where the people are and what does it take. And I was sharing with them in the meeting, this requires teamwork. If you don't have a team, things get dangerous, it gets out of hand, you waste time, you waste resources, etc. So I just emphasize to them, we're having this meeting so that we can have a team together. And that was, as I said, in Palawan. That's the municipal hall where we had that meeting. And I collect mayors, and if the mayor of Mapoon is seeing this, ma'am, don't be jealous. Everywhere I go, I'm blessed to have mayors as my friends. We chat on Facebook, we text each other, etc. And it's a blessing to know that here in the Philippines, like as a missionary pilot, I can tell you, I do have the support of the government backing me up strongly. When I say the support is there, I'm talking about, I've had a former mayor pay my hotel fee, pick me up from the airport, take me to a hotel, cover for my fee, check up on me, return the next day. That's how much these government officials are involved in their support to us as a ministry, working in their constituency to help them to help their own people. And it's always a blessing to get the support of government officials. Don't ask me to pronounce this, but it says down at the bottom, Palanan. Very beautiful place. That's the doctor. We took a little selfie and we put it on our Instagram and so on. And they were very grateful. The sun was a little hot. We had the privilege of walking. The municipal office is so close. We parked the airplane at the airport and we just walked for a few minutes and we were right there in the municipal office. I realized that I have to be wearing mask, and I'm going to ask my wife, could you grab me that thing over there, please? The mask, right? So I have to be wearing mask, and I don't like to cover my face. Right now I'm suffering because of it. I have to wear a mask, I have to wear my shades, I have to wear my headset, and it's killing. I come home and right at my temples right here, I have this excruciating headache after every flight. I have to massage it and so on, but nonetheless, God, no, give me the whole stash. God is providing, where I've had individuals popped in and say, hey, I want to send you a better headset that's going to help you. So look at this, guys. This is the new norm. Okay, my wife got jealous, so she had me make one for her as well with her studio, etc. But I have them here, and I'm thinking, I have some surprises for those. There are individuals who are so generous, they have been sending me donations, and I'm just gonna break it to you now. For those who have been supporting our ministry, it just costs a few bucks to put these things together. I have decided that every time you guys send me something, I am gonna copy your address and I'm gonna send you one of these masks. I don't know if you're gonna wear it, but it's just a little incentive that I want to give back to you guys to let you know that, hey, I appreciate your blessings. I appreciate your prayers. I appreciate your encouragement. So if you want wear mask and you would just like to have one, I'm not gonna sell it to you guys. I cannot sell it. But if you're too far and it requires a whole lot for shipping and handling, don't worry about it. We found a way to get it in bulk, and then I'll ask someone to send it to you so you can have a little memory of us. So this is Pastor Milky. I said, yeah, I'm gonna give one to him. So whenever he comes to the airport, hey, Pablos is so we get away from the depressing mask. Man, I don't want to wear a mask. But every time people see me, they either see Pablos or Flying by Faith, and so it now changes the whole dynamics of wearing mask. It was my day off, as I said, where I just wanted to sit in the airplane. I sat in the right seat, and the director was the one flying us to the meeting and flying us back home. And so finally, I got an opportunity to take photos of the environment. Because when I'm the one flying, in cruise, I can take a quick little photo, but usually when I'm cruising, I'm high above the ground and there's not much I can take photos of. So when someone else is flying, and we're coming in low, I was looking out, I'm like, this is a blessing because we've been praying for rain and I can see how the fields are flourishing for rain. It was a time I had to focus on nature, to focus and look out that window and just enjoy the view. I breathed, I took it all in. And I remember I was saying to Cap Dwayne, our director for Palmas, I said, man, I'm missing out on the views because I'm so focused in flying the airplane. But with you flying, I get an opportunity to just look out through the window. And it was medicinal for me because this week I had a lot of challenges with organization and coordination and etc. And there were times I am so heartbroken on some missions. It take a lot out of me. So to get a day off, but I'm still in the airplane looking out, it was just so medicinal for my soul. Some of you have shared your comments. You were saying, oh, I love that view, breathe and enjoy God's creation. And it was. It was a beautiful day, and I got an opportunity to enjoy the view outside. After the meeting, we had another amazing opportunity. We sat down to eat with Pastor Milky and his family. And Pastor, sorry, we didn't take a photo when we had that meal. So sorry. I want to thank your wife for preparing a sumptuous meal for us yesterday. We were so busy. We didn't take photo, but we want to tell you thanks for that. Whenever I get stranded in Palanan, I can always go to Pastor Milky's house, have a good meal. His wife will cook, and I'll tell her, Mom, don't give me your tofu, okay? I feel bad eating their tofu because I'm the one who transports tofu to them. So I know what it takes for them to get tofu in their area. I said, don't give me your precious tofu. I want rice and mungo. That's all. And you can put kamote tops in it. Yes, I'm Pinoy. I'm a Filipino. All right. Lami or sarap. All right. Naimas in Ilocano, or it's very delicious in English. So we finished the meeting, and as we were eating the meal, Pastor Milky said to us at the table, Kap, there's a patient that's a young child. He's experiencing possible leukemia or something is happening. Sometimes he has headache, fever, and blood will gush from his nose. they want to go out. I said, do they have all their papers ready? He said, yes, their papers are ready. They're actually on standby. You give me the okay now, they will be at the airport in 5 minutes. So it was just Cap Dwayne, myself, and Mam Weng, our government official, with us. So three of us. They were small and just a kid, so we could fit everyone in the airplane. In addition to that, when I did the mission earlier this week, there was some medicine that was bought for another lady. When we had the meeting in the Villacan, one of the nurse there, his wife is having severe pain. So they bought this medicine, and I went out and I forgot the medicine. The medicine has to be kept in my free refrigerator. So when I said, okay, we're not going to that area, but we can pass it. So I said to Cop Dwayne, hey, you wanna swing by here? He's like, man, I don't know how the time and so on and landing and dropping off, and then they have to drive to come get it. So we had the craziest idea. Why not? We're gonna pick up that patient. They're gonna fly with us. We're gonna do a low pass over the municipal office because they said they want to take pictures as well. We're gonna do a low pass and we're gonna drop the medicine. There's a long pavement area. There's a long open area that we're gonna fly over it towards the ocean, get as low as we can. So he's gonna be flying and I'm gonna drop the medicine. So we put it in this styrofoam, we secured it in multiple things, and we dropped it. If you go over to my Flying by Faith, the video is there. I have a video dropping this medicine. So we went out, we dropped it, and within 5 minutes after we continued our flight home, guess what? We got a text message. They received the medicine. Praise the Lord. That lady got a good night's rest last night. So, it's just amazing. I remember Cap Dwayne, we were like kids saying, yeah, this is going to be an adventure that, oh, this is not something we do every day. We're going to drop something from the airplane and people are going to receive a blessing. So we did all that we could to get that mission successful. Again, Batanes continue to have their COVID requirements. So for those who may travel with me in the future, here's a heads up. When you get to this COVID-free island, you have to leave your stuff in the scorching, burning sun so that the COVID virus can be disintegrated by the heat of the sun. Folks, we are in this pandemic and some of the procedures might not make sense, but if you want to travel and you want to get to where you're going, you have to comply. So that's Doc's stuff. And we took a little selfie photo when I was pushing her cart. And as you can see, she has her mask on, but the joy on her face is priceless. Doc was able to get to her destination. And she was telling me, and the reason why I have this photo is, every photo I have, it's a story. As we're flying along, she had her headset. We're chit chatting the whole way. She said, hey, I just sent my picture and video flying to my brother because my brother and we so want to learn how to fly. She's like, my brother wants to he wants to be the pilot. But for me, I just want to learn to fly. I said, you want to learn to fly? She said, yeah, I want to learn to fly. I said, all right. I disengaged the autopilot, said, put your hand on the yoke, feel the airplane. And you know what? Her first reaction was, oh wow, this thing is so sensitive. I said, yeah, you can fly with two fingers. So it was such a blessing to have her getting a little taste. I had to block someone from my Facebook over this photo and this video that I shared because in my post I put she wants to learn to fly, so I gave her her first lesson. And the person commented, remove this video, you're not a flight instructor, blah blah blah. I just blocked that person from my Facebook because I'm saying, you know what? Here's the thing. I didn't give her a flight lesson. We didn't do maneuvers. People jump the gun and make assumptions. All I did was just have her feel the controls. There was nothing that compromised safety. So for someone to make that kind of assumption, I think personally that's someone that does not belong on my Facebook page any longer. So I took them off and they don't have to worry about seeing anything that I post Bye-bye. We'll talk soon. All right. So that's what happened. No, I've been flying a lot of people. Episode, if you remember episode 14, you remember episode 14 where I got on the in the studio and I'm like wiping my nose. Well, it's now settled. See, this is my result. I don't have no COVID, folks. Some of my pilot friend, when I posted this in the group, they were saying, "Oh, this guy is pregnant." It looks like a pregnancy test, doesn't it? So, anyways, that's the result. I don't have COVID. Now, we have been having water problems, but you've never heard about it. You know why? I grew up where I had to haul water on my head, 5 gallon buckets, 20-liter buckets. I was carrying that. And as a kid, you started with a 1 liter, 2 liter, half gallon, until you work your way up to 5 gallons. So as you grow older and you gain more strength, you would haul more and more water. So when I came to this air base, we lost the privilege of taking nice shower from water. We had to be hauling water in drums, but I didn't complain because I grew up where I hauled water on my head. When I hauled the water here, I use a nice elf that is right in front of me outside. You turn on a faucet, it fills the tank, and you drive home. And right from your doorstep, use a pail and you put it in your drum, and then I put some in the house. My friend here, the one that we treated to the dinner a couple weeks ago, he came up from India. Now he's a welder by profession. He built us this amazing tank. God provided the money for the pump, the solar, and the well was running low. So that's why we were not getting water. Then people had stuff on it that was wasting some of the water. Long story short, this tank is now able to hold 12,000 liters or 6,000 gallons. Every morning as the sun comes up and the solar panels are illuminated, the water just gush from the faucet. Now, my wife was not raised hauling water on her head. So she would have her little moments of, damn, I don't want to do these dishes. I got to bail water. Da, da, da. So she's like, oh, it's so nice that there's water in the faucet again. So I know she's happy about that. Okay. So it was a nice tank, a little sketchy if you're doing the work, being all that high. You know, he's not afraid of heights. So he was able to get that done, and Cap Dwayne helped him as well. So now our water problems are officially solved. Praise the Lord for that. God provided the money. We got the materials and the tools, and now we have the most amazing water tank in this area. And my wife now will complain less and be more excited to do the dishes, and I can enjoy a better shower. I like using a lot of water. So anyways, God provided that. So here's the patient that we transported on our way home from that meeting. This little boy is having some illness, and that's Mom Wing, our government official. She's the president of the AGTA, and I have some good news for you. She has an amazing story. Her story is like mine. She grew up in these poor areas and she didn't have the luxury of nice parents, etc. Grew up poor, and God allowed her to get nursing under her belt. Then now she was working overseas as a nurse for a while. She has returned to help her own people, and I can tell you, she will use her personal money to help these folks. We're trying to get her into the Adventist life as well. She's very open to it, and her son watches my video. So I want to say hi to Mom Wang's son. You're watching this. Hi, thank you for watching. He told his mom he wants a nice phone to have internet so he can watch Flying by Faith. So I want to let you know I got your message from your mom, and I know you're watching. So God bless and thank you for watching. I told Mom Wing that I want to throw her in the studio. I haven't done an interview in a while. We're thinking about it. So hopefully when she has some free time, I want her to share her story with you guys. If you're excited to hear Mom Wing's story, let's put some pressure on it so that she can make the time. Put a comment below that says, I want to hear her story. Okay, give that comment, and then I'm gonna take a screenshot. I'm gonna show her, Mom, look, 500 people say they want to hear your story. Can you make the time and come in the studio? She has an amazing story of how she was orphaned at one point. She knows what poverty is like. She said that she grew up eating kamote and they didn't have rice, etc. And she knows what poverty is like. And I can see it. I see she's never too busy to help me to help someone. She's never too tired to help me. Like she's always, no matter what time of the day or night, she's always ready and willing. And she really helps and complements our effort. That's the mom for the boy, and we're hoping that they can get to their destination. Not only that, after Cap Dwayne did the flight, and they said, Bob Wake told me, Cap, we don't have any vehicles to pick us up here, so you need to take us to the hospital. Well, I jumped in my missionary Nissan Patrol and I drove them to the hospital, dropped them off right there so that they can get to their destination safely. We pray for them. We ask you to pray for all these patients as well that we were able to drop off. And there you go, folks. Mask are us. It's the new norm. And if I'm going to wear a mask, I might as well put stuff on it that will motivate me to keep wearing these things. This week, as I said, I hit this. No, I wasn't fatigued. I'm not stressed, but I don't like to fly alone. And I'll tell you why. When I'm flying alone, I get time to think about a lot of things. I get time to meditate and pray. But when I have someone in the airplane, I'm distracted away from my personal self or challenges, etc. But I encountered some challenges and I just took this little alone moment to enjoy outside and just to reflect. I did some reflection, I did some praying. And as I was reflecting, my heart was just broken. And it was broken from the perspective of I'm thinking about the plan of salvation and what God has done for us and all that He's doing to save us. And so many reject that love. They reject what He's doing. They reject the sacrifice of His Son, Jesus Christ. And I look at the little effort that I'm putting in many places. It's not everywhere. And I remember one of my friend from Alabama was asking my wife, "How is he doing?" And I was still sleeping, etc. And she said, "Yeah, sometimes he comes home, he's stressed, but." You guys would never know because, for me personally, I don't think social media is the place for me to rant or vent how I feel. But getting these missions done, I'm not doing it with this nice red carpet. There's a lot of challenges that comes with this ministry. There's a lot of challenges that comes with flights. There's a lot of challenges. It's working with people and things don't always go according to plan. And when you have that dealing with, and I am flying alone, that is the time I pull over and I begin to wrestle with the Lord and agonize with the Lord in prayer. And I just took a little millennial shot there to show you that. Again, what's our motto, folks? We do the work and we allow God to provide the means. So, in closing, finally, I know this week was a little bit more than expected, but a lot happened. This week was packed. Next week, it's piling up already and it's just Sabbath. Okay, tomorrow, by God's grace, tomorrow I am heading to Batanes again. There's a patient there already waiting, going in for surgery. That's already scheduled. I have um, respiratory therapists waiting for transportation to get to Batanes. I have medical doctors waiting for transportation. So episode 16 is going to be good. But what's the summary of episode 15? Well, this week I transported 7 patients. We had 7 watchers, 1 returning patients that went home, and we had 14 passengers or stranded people that benefited from our ministry, some of which were doctors, physicians, the Department of Health workers, nurses, and stranded students alike. We had over 100 pounds or about 50 kilos of cargo. I used up 211 gallons of fuel, and I was out flying by God's grace, by faith, for 20 hours and 20 minutes. Without your donation, without your support, these missions would not be possible. Without you partnering with us. So we have gotten your donations this week, and we want to say thank you. I'll be honest with you. I've done pastoral ministry. I have done Bible working. I've done canvassing. I've done literature evangelistic work. I've done just community efforts. I've done medical missionary work. It is when I became a missionary pilot that I really understand what it means to help people, because that is what we are called to do. All the other efforts had some other reason behind it, but this one, it's purely being there because that's what we're called to do. And I thought to myself, many times as Christians doing missionary work, we do it because we want to invite someone to come to church. We give a flyer because we want you to come to a crusade, etc. But this effort is solely doing it because as a Christian, as someone who wants to show God's love to people, whether they will come to church or not, whether they will accept Bible studies or not, that's not our priority. Jesus said, in as much as you have done it unto the least of these, my brethren, you have done it unto me. So on behalf of Philippines Adventist Medical Aviation Services, and yours truly, humbled servant here as a missionary pilot, I want to say thank you. Thank you for your prayers this week. Thank you for your donations. Thank you for your small little messages each day, each comment, each reaction, each feedback, each like, each share, each view. You help to keep me motivated, to keep this ministry supported financially, so that that little boy who is having leukemia can get transported, so that that pregnant lady in discomfort can get her medicine dropped in an area that they can pick up, so that those pregnant ladies can get to the hospital and see their first baby, see their second baby, so that even the drunkard who we would have said maybe we should have scolded him for his bad habits, even him can still benefit from a flight to get a fighting chance. God bless Mabuhay from the Philippines. And I can't wait to share episode 16 with you. God bless, and we'll talk soon. Bye bye from the Philippines.